So we meet again. Thanks for coming back, you guys. Anybody who's here? 13 seconds. Okay. Let's see who's here first. Oh, we got 4 people already coming in. Hi, everybody. 12. The numbers are increasing. 29. Thanks for joining me. I usually log on at 5 minutes before so everybody can file into the room. And then I get started at 2 o'clock. I should make a new sign, don't you think? Okay. All right, who's here to see me today? London, Ontario. Of course, the Druckman gang is here. They're always here. Ava in Dallas. Oh, so many nice people. Michaela, New Jersey. Charlotte and Robbie in Fairfax. I assume that's Virginia. I don't know. Who else is here? Let's see. Buffalo, New York, Paige and Perrin. Hi, thanks for coming. And I apologize, I can't say hello to everybody. The messages shoot by so fast I can't even see them all. Puerto Rico is here again in the house. Scarsdale, New York. Skip Pack, Pennsylvania. Matthew, Ryan, James, and the Spencer kids, and the Pennington Miracle League. And Vienna, Virginia, Nolan and Zoe and Grant in Virginia. Hi, everybody. Henry from Kentucky. And it's almost go time. Liam and Amelia from Minnesota. California is here. Fort Worth, Texas. And Sasha and Max. Hi, Sasha and Max. And Sayreville, New Jersey. And Max in Montreal. Hi, Max. Lauren, Emily, and Madeline are here today. Who else is here today? Emma and Maddie in Franklin Lakes, and Ren and Willard, Maryland, and Morgan, who has not missed a single live reading. Thank you, Morgan. And if you do miss one of these, you can go to my website, which is just www.dangutman.com, and pick them up later. Okay. Okay. Who else is here? Tyler and Logan in North Andover, Massachusetts, and Joshua and Jordan, and Lucas and Allison in Ohio. Every day, loving this. Thank you. I'm loving it too. I'm having so much fun. Tell your friends. If you're having fun, tell your friends. I want everybody to listen. Liam and Zoe from Philadelphia. Juliet and Rebecca from Glenwood School, and Asher from Plymouth Meeting, and Cora and Lily and Savannah in Texas is here, and Ethan from Bay City, Michigan. Is that where the Bay City Rollers are from? I think so. Who remembers them? Springfield, Virginia is here, and Alice and Luke, and who else? Oh, so many of you. I love it. Jessica from New Jersey, and Jacob and Sydney, Michael, Allie, and Colin from Yardley, Pennsylvania. Leo is here. You wrote a letter story this week. Okay, I can't read that right now. Patrick Parent. Is it Patrick who is a parent, or your last name is Parent? I don't know. How many minutes we got left? We got 2 minutes left. We'll get started at 2 o'clock with our daily read aloud. Who else? Benton from Pennsylvania. Drew, Elise, and Kennedy from Utah. Savannah from New Jersey. 807 people are here. Okay, there's still time. Tell your friends, get them on the phone. Tell them to come on in. Sam and Jack from Cranford, and Clara and James and Blaine and Deaglin and Emily and Matthew and Larchmont and Dean and Mallory. Can't wait to hear today's story. Me neither. Connor, the Connor kids, and Caitlin. I came to your school. Levi, and Maya. We almost have 1,000 people here. We need another 85 people to get 1,000. Menlo Park is here. Jackson and Gabriella and Blake, and thanks, Lizzie. 951 people, and it's 2 o'clock. It's time. It's go time, you guys. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I really appreciate it. My name is Dan Gutman. I'm the guy who writes the My Weird School books and various other books for kids. If you want to find out about them, just go to my website, which is www.dangutman.com. And before we get started with today's read aloud, it's time for the question of the day. And the question of the day today comes from Clara in Huntsville, Alabama. And Clara asked, what grade are AJ and his friends in? Good question, Clara. AJ and his friends are in 3rd grade. When the series started way back a long time ago, in 2004, the kids were in 2nd grade. And at some point, I don't remember which book, they graduated into 3rd grade. So they were in 3rd grade for a long time. And at some point, I thought, gee, maybe I should have them graduate into 4th grade. So I went to the publisher and I said, what do you think? Should we put the kids into 4th grade? And the publisher said no. So I thought, why? And they said, well, books for 2nd graders and books for 4th graders are shelved in a different part of the bookstore, in a different part of the library. And we want all the My Weird School books to be shelved in the same place. So let's keep the kids in 3rd grade, which means that AJ and his friends will be in 3rd grade for the rest of their lives. Much like The Simpsons, The Simpsons have been on TV for 40 years now, and they're still, and Bart and Lisa are in the same grade that they were in back in the beginning. So these kids are also going to be in 3rd grade for the rest of their lives. Okay, that's the answer to your question. We'll do another question tomorrow. And for now, let's get started with our read aloud of Miss Porter is Out of Order. Now, if you've been following the story, you know that Mr. Cooper, the regular 3rd grade teacher, is away for a week. He's going to visit his sister in Spain. So they had to get a substitute to take his place. And the mean president of the Board of Education, Dr. Carbles, instead of hiring a regular human teacher, a substitute teacher, he hires Miss Porter, who is a personal digital assistant, right? So he brings her in and the kids are like shocked, oh, what's going on here? But she seems really nice. She throws a pizza party. Everybody's having a great old time, And then Miss Porter kind of generates a 3-dimensional computer-generated image of herself. So she appears in human form, and there she is right there. And of course, she's pretty. So all the male teachers at the school fall in love with her and ask her to marry them. That happened yesterday, and they were all fighting over Miss Porter. So everybody's having a great old time, but the chapter that we read kind of ends on a sad note, because as they were leaving, they're walking down the hall, the kids, they come across their computer teacher, Mrs. Yonkers, and she just got fired. And they ask her, what happened? And she said that she has been replaced by a personal digital assistant. So let me just put it this way. Miss Porter has a dark side. And we're going to find out about that in chapter 7, which is titled, Miss Porter Has Superpowers. Okay, you guys ready? Everybody gather around the computer screen, the smartphone, the tablet, the giant big screen TV that I see some of you have. I wish I had TVs like you guys. And let's get started with chapter 7. Okay. The kids are going to lunch. We grabbed an empty table in the vomitorium. Everybody had a sandwich, except for Ryan. He had a witch sand. It's a reverse sandwich. Bread on the inside and meat on the outside. Ryan is weird. I feel sad about Mrs. Yonkers getting fired, said Andrea as we sat down. She was a good computer teacher. She was a nice lady too, said Emily. That math lesson with Miss Porter was a snooze, I said. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a fun teacher, said Michael. Well, it can't be fun all the time, Alexia explained. It has to do some teaching too. Yeah, said Neil. It did tell us it was going to be just like a regular teacher. I still think Miss Porter is cool, said Ryan. I'd rather have a personal digital assistant than a human teacher. Not me, said Michael. I'd rather have a real teacher. Me too, said Neil. Me three, said Emily. Me four, I said. I don't like Miss Porter anymore. I can't wait until Mr. Cooper comes back. At that moment, a voice said, Mr. Cooper will be back next Monday. Ah! We all shouted. Who's that? I said, looking around. It's me, Miss Porter, said the voice. Miss Porter appeared in front of us, just like it did in our classroom. You can move around from room to room? Asked Andrea. Sure, Miss Porter explained, as long as the room has a Wi-Fi connection. Miss Porter walked around our table, looking at our plates. And here's one of Jim's pictures of Miss Porter walking around while the kids are eating lunch. Is that what you're, wait a minute. Oh yeah. Is that what you're eating for lunch? It asked as it passed by Neil. You should be eating more fruits and vegetables. I usually have carrots, Neil said, but my mom didn't give me any today. All that bread is not good for you, Miss Porter said to Alexia. Too many carbs. I didn't know what carbs were, but they sounded gross. I leaned over to Michael, who was sitting next to me. Miss Porter is annoying, I whispered in his ear. I heard that, AJ, said Miss Porter. Sheesh, it has great hearing. It hears everything. I took a pen out of my pocket and wrote on a napkin, Miss Porter is a poopy head. Then I gave the note to Michael. I saw that, AJ, said Miss Porter. Remember, I have a built-in camera. It has high resolution. Man, it has super hearing and supervision. And I thought Mr. Cooper was a superhero. We couldn't even whisper around Miss Porter. We couldn't even pass notes around it. We couldn't get away with anything around it. It is no fun at all. Bring! The bell rang, which meant it was time for recess. We scraped off our plates into the garbage can. As we left the vomitorium and walked past the office, I noticed our science teacher, Mr. Docker, was standing there with Mr. Harrison, the school tech guy. He fixes stuff that breaks. They were each holding a big cardboard box, and they both looked really sad. And here's a picture of Mr. Docker and Mr. Harrison with boxes. They look sad. Where are you guys going? Asked Alexia. Home, Mr. Docker replied. We just got fired. What? Who's going to be our new science teacher? Asked Emily. Who's going to be the next tech guy? You won't be getting a new science teacher or tech guy, Mr. Harrison told us. They're going to replace us both with personal digital assistants. Okay, that's chapter 8. 7, I mean. Are you ready for chapter 8? All right. What's the magic word? Okay, chapter 8 is titled, The Cloud is Everywhere. Okay, chapter 8. Things are getting scary over here. So now 3 of the grown-ups who work at our school had been fired. Mrs. Yonkers, Mr. Docker, and Mr. Harrison. Me and the gang went over to the monkey bars, which are at the end of the playground. And here's a picture of the kids gathering at the monkey bars to have a little discussion out of earshot of Miss Porter. Can you believe Mr. Docker and Mr. Harrison got fired? Asked Michael. Keep your voice down, I told Michael. Miss Porter might be using super hearing to listen to every word we say. It can't hear us out here in the playground, Arlo, Andrea explained. There's no Wi-Fi connection out here. Oh, yeah. Miss Know-It-All knows everything about technology ever since she started taking her computer class after school. Why can't a truckload of computers fall on her head? Miss Porter is no fun at all, Ryan said. It only got us pizza and told jokes on Monday to make us like it. Then it turned out to be just another regular teacher. Yeah, everybody agreed. This is more serious than that, Andrea told us. I'm afraid that personal digital assistants like Miss Porter are an invasion of our privacy. Invasions are cool, I said. I saw this movie once where these army guys invaded. But Andrea wouldn't let me finish my sentence. Don't you guys see? She asked. First, our computer teacher got fired. Then our science teacher and our tech guy got fired. They fired these 3 people because they know all about computers and technology. Mrs. Yonkers, Mr. Docker, and Mr. Harrison are the only ones who could fight back. That's hard to do. Who knows which teacher might get fired next? Alexia asked. Maybe all our teachers are going to get fired. Andrea and Alexia were right. The machines were taken over. One by one, the teachers were getting fired and replaced by personal digital assistants. Maybe they'll replace us too, said Ryan. Then there will be digital teachers teaching digital students. Yay, no more school. I saw something like that in a movie once, I said. There were these robots, and at first everybody thought they were going to help the human race. But then the robots turned evil and tried to kill all the humans. So the humans had to kill all the robots. Stuff like that happens all the time, you know. Arlo, stop trying to scare Emily, said Andrea. I'm scared, said Emily. Miss Porter may not be a teacher at all, I said. Did you ever think about that? Maybe it's just here to spy on us. We've got to do something, Emily shouted. And then she went running away. Sheesh, get a grip. But Emily was right. We did have to do something. But what? Can't we just turn it off? I asked. It has no on-off switch, Neil said. Isn't there a mute button on it? Asked Alexia. Why don't we just throw the thing off a cliff or something? I suggested. That would get rid of it. Don't be ridiculous, Arlo, said Andrea. There are no cliffs around here anyway, Ryan pointed out. There must be some way to disable it, said Neil. I wonder if we could just unplug it, suggested Andrea. Then, after its battery dies, it won't be able to do anything. At that moment, the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. We heard a voice. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Andrea. Ah! We all shouted. Who said that? Ryan asked. Miss Porter? Right you are, Ryan, said Miss Porter. It's Miss Porter, I shouted. It hears everything, everywhere. The monkey bars must be hacked, Andrea said, searching around for a microphone. I thought you could only work when there's a Wi-Fi connection. I'm in the cloud, said Miss Porter. And here's a picture, one of Jim's pictures of Miss Porter in the cloud. What cloud? I asked, looking up in the sky. I don't see any clouds. The cloud is everywhere, said Miss Porter in a calm voice. So I am everywhere. I am here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, I think Miss Porter is hacking my brain, I shouted. Run for your lives, shouted Neil. If you unplug me, Andrea, said Miss Porter, I will send a text message to your mother, and you will be in big trouble. I've never been in trouble in my whole life, Andrea said. You wouldn't dare do that. A few seconds later, there was a beeping sound. It was coming from Andrea. She took her smartphone out of her pocket and looked at the screen. It's my mother, yelled Andrea. She sent me a text. She wants to know if everything is okay. See, said Miss Porter. You have been snooping on us this whole time, Andrea yelled at Miss Porter. You heard every word we said. It's true, said the voice of Miss Porter. I did. I'm listening to you. You're evil, I shouted. Maybe I am, said Miss Porter, but there is nothing you can do about it. I will be your teacher from now on. Mr. Porter is not coming back. You cannot unplug me. You cannot disable me. You cannot destroy me. Personal digital assistants are taking over. Soon, you humans will be our assistants. Ha, 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 ha. This was the worst thing to happen since TV Turnoff Week was in the middle of National Poetry Month. It was a hopeless situation. But then I got the greatest idea in the history of the world. And you're going to have to find out what it is tomorrow, because that's where we're going to read chapter 9, You Cannot Destroy Me. And tomorrow, we're going to finish this book, chapter 9 and 10. Done. We're going to finish the book Friday. And on Monday, we will start a new My Weird School book. We're going to start working on Dr. Snow Has Got to Go. So I will see you here, same place, same time, for the thrilling conclusion of Miss Porter is Out of Order. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Read like crazy. Wash your hands like crazy. And I'll see you then. Thanks for listening. Bye now.